I'm not even gonna say it. Just play the video. I'll let it be a surprise.
I got you.
Would be one other team you'd play for.
Oh, keeping it real.
We are keeping it real. The Lions.
The Detroit Lions. Maxx Crosby said if he were to play for any other team in the National Football League, he chose the Detroit Lions. That was something that's already kind of getting flirted with randomly last year. And he did say if they didn't bring back AP, Antonio Pierce as the head coach, that he did not want to be with the franchise. He helped AP land that job. Unfortunately, and kind of congratulations to AP, he got the job. He's not with the Lions. But it also goes hand in hand with Kevin Zeitler coming to Detroit. DJ Reader coming to Detroit.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there's going to be other names to follow. We are officially, I think, are validified as like a team
we are
that
a destination.
You come and chase a ring with.
Yes.
And not just that, too. Every one of these players, when they came in and did these press conferences with the media, oh, Dan Campbell. Oh, Dan Campbell looks you in the eyes. We talk to him, makes you want to run through a wall. Man, Dan Campbell's just a guy you want to play for. You got that dog in him. We've built the hub, bro.
Yeah.
We've built it. It's not like the fucking, and I'm sorry for swearing so much, but like, what's his name? Mike Greeny?
Yeah.
Who was like, the 1 year window?
Yeah.
No, we have something here, and it goes beyond just what you saw last year. There's an actual culture brewing up just from Dan Campbell himself. And you also got Brad Holmes fucking chefing up in the kitchen as well on top of it. Like, this is going to be a sustained success in my eyes. I think Ben Johnson's a big part of that too, but we had that conversation as well.
Yes.
If you're an up-and-coming offensive coordinator, offensive mind, who the hell? If you're up-and-coming in the NFL as a coach, Detroit's somewhere you want to be just as well these players want to be here too.
Yeah, it's a spot.
We turned it around. It's just beautiful to see.
It is a destination piece, and it definitely, it helps that he was born in Michigan, that, he went to Eastern, that he does have some ties to the state. But like you said, the DJ Reader situation and other situations, like, this man set the Lions. How many times are you going to hear a premier player, don't care if they're from Michigan, wherever, say, where do you want to go play? The Lions. I would respectfully give my left nut to see Maxx Crosby on the opposite side of Aiden Hutchinson, bro. That would, as we put it on Twitter, feed generations. Like, that would be by far the best pass rush in the NFL.
Bro.
And I don't think it's going to happen, obviously, because of all the money and different things that would have to go through it. But, man, just hearing that, like you said, the players voting Aaron Glenn as the defensive coordinator they would most want to play for. Everybody mentioning Dan Campbell, the situation, the respect Brad Holmes. You don't think the players see Brad Holmes high-fiving people on the sidelines, screaming in the elevator, dapping people up when he drafts his guys, and like, that's the GM. That's the GM doing that. That's not the head coach. Yep. That's not the offensive coordinator. That's the GM doing that. That means more to guys. Like the guy who scouts you, the guy who wanted to bring you in here. It should mean something to me. Like, seeing that guy get that hype for his players and his situations, it is a culture that has been built. It is an amazing situation, and I'm so happy that the Lions are now a destination spot for free agents and players all over the NFL.
And there's one more thing, too, before KG and Nick. It's what we said earlier. A lot of us kind of complained about what happened in the transpired in free agency about not getting those big names. Guys are going to get cut. Guys have, like, with Maxx Crosby contracts, because they earned those Maxx Crosby contracts, they played their fucking ass off.
Yeah.
Good players are going to get cut from teams just for his cap casualties come training camp.
Mm-hmm.
And guess where they're going to come?
Where DJ Reader wanted to go. Where Kevin Zeitler wanted to go.
Where Maxx Crosby
wants to go.
The
Detroit Lions.
If you would have told me that Maxx Crosby 3 years ago, when this regime started, I would have never believed this, that all of these players want to come to Detroit. The days of taking low blows against the city of Detroit and the Lions are over.
Yes.
It's gone. Greeny, you wrong. This Detroit Lions team has changed every single perspective of them, and I'm fired up because this is just the beginning. We made one NFC championship. This is just the start. Get ready for the names coming and the people coming this way. KG, what you got?
Man, could you imagine Hutch and Maxx Crosby on the same line? I would feel bad for any quarterback that game. You talking about two guys with the highest motors in the league. Man, that would be absolutely unstoppable. No, will it happen? Probably not. But you never know the future, man. Him saying that now is like, kind of like a wake-up call. Maybe in the future, we can make something happen. But as of right now, it probably won't happen. But man, Maxx Crosby and that Lions Honolulu Blue, man, sign me up.
And like I said, we don't have to overpay for a Trey Flowers anymore.
Yeah.
No.
We don't have to overpay for a Jamie Collins anymore. Because you see Kevin Zeitler, a Pro Bowl guard, taking a 1-year deal of way below market to come to the Detroit Lions. You see a DJ Reader, a top 5 defensive tackle, nose tackle in the NFL, taking a below average contract to come to the Detroit Lions. You see a guy in Ben Johnson, who is the highest touted head coach prospect in the NFL, not taking a head coach job to stay with the Detroit Lions. Because people want to be here, because they see what we're building, because they know Brad Holmes is going to continuously bring in great talent, and this team is not a one and done. Eat shit, Greeny. This window is not closed. This window stays open as long as Brad Holmes is the one making draft picks.
I'm with you on that one. And I honestly got
Let him cook.
what I was going to say. But just, I was going to tie a name into it. I see him floating out there. I saw Steve Wild say we're not going nowhere unless we touch up the secondary.
They did.
Xavier Howard out there in the market. I saw a report. Don't know if it's true or not. ML Football, however if you guys verify those reports or not. But he's willing to take less to be in a good situation. There's a guy right there. I'm not even talking about, and again, because I still want to draft a cornerback. I've been kind of verbal about that. I think Kool-Aid is on my radar. I'm not Brad Holmes, but he's definitely on my radar.
You can do
but
both.
That's what I want is, again, grab a veteran piece so I'd be more comfortable with that. A guy who's been in the game, been in the league, doing things for a while. Xavier Howard, one of those veteran guys, did great things for a minute there. Grab him and just have him mentor the new guy into it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, have him learn his ways. The same thing we were saying about Hutch. Like, Hutch came in as like a pro. No one had to teach him. He was already doing it. That's the benefit of having a veteran, unless you draft a rookie like that. Guys are going to come here. I don't think anybody should be freaking out. I'm not. I know I was only making the case about the Josh Reynolds thing being bigger than people thought. It's going to get addressed, but I'm not freaking out about how it's going to be addressed. It will.
Yeah.
In the cornerback spot too. KG.
Yeah, no, 100%. This is why I wanted the Stephon Gilmore signing because, Amik Robertson can play the outside. He plays bigger than his size. But if you put him in the slot, that's perfect. And then you get another experienced veteran corner. You go draft one in the draft, help bring him up. And then next year, you sitting pretty, man. Depending on who they get, I don't know whether they would go first round, second round, third. But like you said, the need will get addressed. Brad Holmes knows what this defense needs. He's the way he's attacked it this year. I haven't seen him attack something, so the way he's attacked his defense this year. So.
Steve Wild says Reader deal was good, but because of his market suffered because of the injury. Definitely the injury takes some hit on that.
Yeah.
But he could get that same deal he got with the Lions in multiple different teams. What did he say? What were the words that came out of that man's lips? When he walked in the room and talked with Dan Campbell and looked him in his eyes and heard what he was saying, he wanted to be here. You want to play for a guy like that. You want to be coached by a guy like that. And that you can't buy that. You can't
Doesn't matter if
get
you
that
have one
feeling.
ass cheek
You
and
think
three
you're going to
toes.
get that
I will
feeling
beat your
from
ass.
Jonathan Gannon? Shoom, shoom, shoom. You remember how those guys were looking at Jonathan Gannon when he did his original press
He made
conferences?
those players so uncomfortable.
They were all uncomfortable as shit.
He
but
like
you sit
talked
there
really close to the face and everything.
you sit there with Dan fucking Campbell, and he says, I think about nothing but you guys, man. I've been here before, man. We're going to bite some fucking kneecaps, man. Like, that is funny to us, but it means more to those guys who are actually there.
Absolutely.
You can't pay for that kind of confidence. You can't pay for that kind of mentorship that Dan Campbell brings to these guys.
I think another thing to point out, too, is Brad Holmes doesn't give out big contracts. Like, Brad Holmes isn't paying anybody fat. So you got to know that DJ Reader more than likely had other opportunities to make more money or would have had more opportunities to make more money. And Detroit felt like a fit. Yeah. And you saw, I don't know if you guys caught it on the Detroit Lions YouTube page, but I think he sat down with Danny Rodgers and he was like tweeting about the Detroit Lions playoff run.
Yes.
The entire as soon as he got injured, he became a Detroit Lions fan. He became a Jared Goff fan. And Detroit was somewhere, again, just felt right. It was a place he wanted to be. And I said it on Twitter too, right? I forgot who it was. I responded to a reporter, I think it was. I'm like, I was a Bengals fan. I'm like, you think, because like, he's come back here, we're competing for a Super Bowl. I'm like, you think he's going to sit and have a conversation with Dan Campbell? He's not going to want to stay and play for that man? On top of this being a team also competing for a Super Bowl? Yeah. Like, it's to the point, and I made this point before too, every time we have a guest on the show, whether it's like an interdivision rival or just somebody completely random, they always make the comment about how Dan Campbell is their favorite coach outside of their own.
Yes.
Even guys from the Vikings, even the guys from the Bears, they all have that same sentiment. Dan Campbell's just that man, and pause intended, he's our man.
He is our man, pause. But we talked about it all the time when we heard DJ Reader's coming to Detroit for an interview. DJ Reader's going to come in, sit down with the Lions. Everything you saw, all the fans were saying, don't let him leave. Don't let him leave. Don't let him leave. If you sit down in a room and have an interview with Dan Campbell, you're not going to want to leave because of how much he inspires, how much faith he instills in people, how much of a leader of men that he is.
You have him selling it on top of you just witnessing it yourself on the field. Even as a competitor playing against this team, that's one thing everyone says. Hey, the Lions, they're tough. They're physical out there. Like you feel it the day after.